Hey, y'all, it's Krystal Hunsucker. Happy Magnanimous Monday, and welcome to your $1 Million Message. Well, I want to share a little bit with you about what we talked about this weekend at church on why relationships don't work. Haven't you ever wondered that? Why don't these relationships work? And, you know, it's so interesting because as we welcome this Easter week that we celebrate Palm Sunday, this Sunday a day ago, you know, it's Monday today, yesterday was Palm Sunday, and this is the day that Jesus rode into Jerusalem, and the people were praising him, and they were throwing palm leaves and their clothes on the ground, just so excited. And then not a week, not a year, not a month, not weeks, not 1 week, but days later, they were screaming and yelling out, crucify him, crucify him. The same people who were cheering him on. And what a correlation to real life. I mean, have we not all been in situations that you have found yourself where one day you were somebody was your biggest cheerleader. You were the fan of all time. You were the rock star that, like, somebody just put you on this pedestal and just adored you and loved you. And the next day, they're like, I can't stand them. Get them, right? I mean, I feel like at some point, even as a young girl, I experienced this in my life. I mean, I'll never forget, you guys. I experienced a real-life moment like this in middle school. That is when the enemy started trying to attack me with relationships. Isn't that powerful? He started attacking me in 6th grade, you guys. I had gone off to visit family, and all the rest of my friends had gone to a little summer camp I lived in Abilene, Texas. They had all gone to Abilene Christian and gone to Camp Wildcat. I still remember because I was so upset because I didn't get to go to Camp Wildcat. And we had been on vacation. We had been to visit family. And when I came back, had all been my best friends. And when I came back, they looked at me, and one of the girls said, yeah, we were sitting at camp, and a dog walked up, and we said, hey, look, Krystal made it to camp. And they were calling, I mean, seriously, you guys, and you know what? I was so grateful that I walked through that situation, and that now I can always look back and not look at that as those girls were mean girls, which they were kind of being mean. But you know what? The enemy uses flesh. It's never the flesh. He uses them for that. And so with that, all that said, it is why don't relationships work? Why relationships don't work? And relationships can be weird. And haven't we all seen people come and go from our lives? And relationships cannot work. Relationships can be tough on us. Relationships can just suck if we're just going to be really honest. So there is a relationship assessment that I want you to take today. Okay, I want you to ask yourself these questions, and I want you to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how you would assess yourself in relationships. So if you are married, how is your marriage relationship on a scale of 1 to 10? How's your marriage relationship? How is your relationship with your family of origin? That's the family that you were born to. Your parents, your cousins, your sisters, all the things. How is your relationship with your family of origin? How is your relationship with your children, if you have children? How is your relationship with your friends? I would be willing to bet we all at least have a handful or one friend. If you don't, these are really good questions to be asking yourself. Why? How is your relationship with your boss or employees? That could be if you have another job. Your boss or employees in Mary Kay would be your mentor, your leader, your sales director, your, quote, employees. No, they're not your employees, but a comparison would be your team. How's your relationship with them? How is your relationship with yourself? Ew, how do you self-talk? What do you say to yourself? How is your relationship with God? What does that look like? And, you know, there are a lot of reasons why relationships don't work, and here is just a short list of a few things. one of the first things that can be, honestly, the deterrent of your life, and that is a spirit of offense. What does it take to offend you? Like, are you offended all the time? Do you need to decide to quit being offended by stuff, by situations, by people? It is not easy, but it is a reason why relationships don't work. Here's some others. Selfish, unrealistic expectations. Ooh, that's a good one. That's one in my marriage that I've always taken really serious, because I've always said if I have an unrealistic expectation of what I expect Brad to act or do to me, and I have never verbally communicated, because you guys, those of you who are married, men don't take hints. You have to kindly verbally express those things. And if I have an unrealistic expectation, I had to make a decision early on in my marriage. Who am I to be frustrated or upset if I was the one that put that on him? It really has made a difference in our relationship. Don't value differences. I love my girlfriend Roxy Corsi put the most awesome post that she had gone to coffee with a girlfriend, and that one of them had gotten the vaccine and one of them said she wasn't getting it. They had a discussion about it. They didn't fight about it. They weren't mad at each other. They weren't judging each other. They just said, hey, that's what you're doing. This is what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, look at this. We can have a different opinion and still love and respect each other. I don't have to look at anyone and say, oh, you're dumb for thinking that, or oh, you're crazy for being that way. I can just say, we have two different opinions. Let's still have coffee and be besties and talk about something else next. Should I just mic drop the phone and just hang up right now? All right, next, an inability to celebrate others' wins or achievements. This takes a lot of character and integrity, that when you're not winning, to be able to celebrate someone else in their moment. Low trust, lack of respect, lack of intimacy. Conditional love. Oh, you love them if, fill in the blank. That can be for any relationship, you guys. Ooh. Unresolved funk. Do we have any unresolved funk? I think we all do. Unforgiveness. As Pastor Keith has always taught us, if you want to have great relationships in your life, you've got to be a great apologizer and a great forgiver. Discontentment. You are just not happy ever. Criticism. You're always criticizing. Contempt. And what Pastor Keith has said is that contempt is the last stage before he is ever seen. Every time when a couple that is married gets into contempt with each other, or one or the other does, that's when the marriage ends. So take a look at that, you guys. Lack of personal growth, resentment. Oh, you guys, it's why communication is so important, so that we don't have resentment towards someone in our life. Bitterness, a fixed mindset. What if the person you're with is growing and you're not? Or what if you're growing and the person you're with has that fixed mindset? Taking your relationship to the next level. Bad stewardship, money problems, poor communication, unwillingness to change. So what I want you to take from this is that just a big thought for today is that great relationships work when people work at being great. That's the bottom line. I can't make Brad be great. I can't make Brad and I have the perfect marriage. I can't make anyone do anything, but I can focus and work on me being great. That is where I can spend my time. And great is being beyond normal, being excellence, being noble, being intimate. Great is vast power. And if you really want to have great relationships, learn what says I love you to others and love that way. If you don't know people's love languages, I'm gifts and affirmation. So if I keep giving Brad gifts and affirming him in his love languages, acts of service, and I never do anything for him, he is never going to feel loved. Now, that's not the case with us, but I watched my parents do this. My mom was gifts and words of affirmation, and that just wasn't my dad's love language. Now, let's be clear, you guys. Back then, this whole self-growth society, this whole love language book, I mean, all of these things weren't really the norm. And so they just didn't even realize they were walking this out, because a lot of these tools that we have now didn't exist. So I just feel like we have no excuse, you guys, because we have all the tools. And so my dad would do things for my mom because he's acts of service. And he would do, and he would do, and he would do. And of course, my mother liked that, but it was really hard for her to feel the love because she was gifts and words of affirmation. Isn't that interesting? So that's what I want to leave you with today, is to take your self-assessment test on your relationship, about your marriage relationship, your relationship with your family of origin, relationship with your children if you have them, relationship with your friends, relationship with your, quote, boss or employees, director or consultants or team, your relationship with yourself, and your relationship with God. Take that assessment, and then I want you to look at the people that you love the most in life. How do they need to be loved, and are you loving them that way? And I tell you what, if you will do this in your relationships, it will truly elevate your life. You will be literally, your next will be your best. I speak that over you. I hope this grew you today and inspired you, and I hope you make it a fantastic month end as you focus on relationships. Raise your hands in the air. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you. May you know that if God is for you, who can be against you? With God on your side, whom shall you fear? May you be like a tree that is planted by rivers of living water, that your leaf will not wither, and whatsoever you do, say it with me, it shall prosper. Love you guys.